Hello everyone! In this video we will knit a Scarecrow keychain. I knitted with Allison Diver yarn to imitate straw hair. I used jute. 2 hooks were used, one 2.5 meters and the other 3 meters. A little cotton yarn for decorating the eyes and mouth, stuffing and hot glue. Happy knitting and easy stitches to you. To begin, create a circular loop using your yarn, which will serve as the foundation for your project. Once you have your loop, proceed to cast on a total of 6 stitches around this loop, ensuring they are evenly spaced to form a neat and tidy ring. Moving on to the second row, you will need to increase the number of stitches by doubling each one. This means that for every stitch you initially cast on, you will now create an additional stitch, effectively doubling the count. By the end of this row, you should have a total of 12 stitches, which would provide a solid base for the subsequent rows of your knitting project. Third row. 1 single crochet and an increase. Repeat 6 times, resulting in 18. Fourth row. 2 double crochets and an increase. Repeat 6 times, resulting in 24. Bye. Row, 3 stitches and an increase. You need to repeat the process a total of 6 times, which will ultimately result in the number 30. This means performing the action 6 times in succession. Row, 4 columns and an increase. Repeat 6 times, resulting in 36. 7. This pattern involves repeating a sequence of actions. The process includes working with a total of 4 columns. Each repetition contributes to the final count. The final result is a total of 36. Row, 5 columns and an increase. Repeat 6 times, resulting in 42. The following rows, from 8 to 14, are knitted without change, with 42 columns each. Row 15, 5 columns and a decrease. 15th row, 5 column, and a decrease, 5 column and a decrease. This pattern is repeated throughout the design. Ensure consistency in each step. Repeat 6 times, resulting in 36. In row 16 of our knitting pattern, you will work with a total of 4 columns. This involves a specific technique where you will need to decrease the number of stitches in a controlled manner to achieve the desired shape and structure in your project. Repeat this process a total of 6 times, resulting in 30 in total. This is the seating for the passengers. Row 17. In this step, you will work with 3 columns and then perform a decrease. This process should be repeated a total of 6 times, which will ultimately result in a total of 24. Now, focus on row 18, and ensure you complete the 2 steps as instructed. Column and decrease gradually. Repeat 6 times in a consistent manner, resulting in 18 in total. Once you have completed this row, the filler material can be carefully inserted. This is row 19. Decrease by 1 column, and repeat this process 6 times, which will result in a total of 12. Now I am inserting the filler. In the 20th row, we make 6 decreases. We tighten the remaining stitches with the needle and hide the thread inside. The head is ready. Now I am decorating the face. I am embroidering the eyes and mouth. I am leaving 8 stitches from the beginning of the knitting. To create a secure and decorative stitch, I carefully insert the needle into the fabric 2 rows below the current position and move it diagonally across 2 stitches. Another stitch like that. The first eye is formed. I skip 5 stitches. And I embroider the second eye in exactly the same way with cross stitch. Next, I embroider the mouth with the same thread. We embroider the mouth from ear to ear. We make a couple of stitches on one side and the other side of the mouth. Now let us begin by carefully braiding the hair. For the process of braiding the hair, I specifically use jute, and of course a thicker hook. I am currently making a ring with 6 stitches, obviously. In the second row, I double the stitches, resulting in 12. close with the connecting column. I carefully cut the thread and immediately secure it. Next, I cut segments that are 10 cm long. I will need 18 such segments. I tie 2 segments to each column using a hook. We tie the segments to the end of the row, and just 3 columns will remain empty without segments at the end. Now, in this step, we carefully combine the center of the hair and the head together. The hair is securely glued or sewn on. We knit a loop, which will be used to hang the future keychain. I cast on a chain of 20 air stitches. The more stitches, the longer the loop. At the beginning and end, we leave long segments of thread to make it easier to secure. We set it aside for a moment and start knitting the hat. In the ring, we cast on 7 stitches. Second row, increase in each column. At the end of the row, there will be 14 columns. Row, 1 column and increase. Repeat approximately 7 times, resulting in 21 in total. Altogether, as a result, 4. Row, 2 columns and an increase. Repeat 7 times, resulting in 28. Now we knit 28 columns only through the back half loops. In the 6th row, I knit 28 columns through both half loops. the loop. Pass both ends through the middle and secure them from the inside. Next, we cut out a small circle from cardboard. We secure it using hot glue. Next, we continue knitting. Rows 7 to 11 are knitted without change, with 28 stitches each. Next, we will knit 2 rows with thread of a different color. We change the thread. To do this, we close the last stitch of row 11 with thread of a different color. Next, we knit rows 12 and 13, also with 28 stitches each, but using thread of a different color. Securely close the last stitch of row 13 with the main color thread. In row 14, we will carefully crochet into the back loops. In each stitch, we make an increase, which means that by the end of the row, we will have 56 stitches. Finish row 15 carefully with a slip stitch, and securely. Carefully make 2 chain stitches. This is the first stitch. To begin with, in each and every stitch, carefully and precisely crochet a double crochet. By the time you reach the end of the row, you will have a total of 56 double crochets. We finish with a connecting stitch in the second chain stitch of the first stitch. Then we continue to knit another row with connecting stitches. At the end, we cut the thread and secure it. The hat is ready. Now let us carefully knit the collar. Then we cast on 6 stitches into the ring. In the second row, we double the stitches, resulting in 12, the third row. 1 stitch and an increase. Repeat until the end of the row, resulting in 18. Fourth row, 2 stitches and an increase. Repeat 6 times, resulting in 24. Row 5. Three double crochets and an increase. Repeat 6 times, resulting in 30. Now next we simply cast on 2 chain stitches. We turn the work with the wrong side facing us, meaning we will now be knitting in the opposite direction. In the first stitch, we work 2 double crochets into the back loop. In the next stitch, work 3 double crochets only into the front loop. In the next stitch, we again work 3 double crochets into the back half loop. We crochet 3 double crochets into the front loop. Continue alternating until the end of the row. At the end of the row, there will be 90 stitches. We finish with a connecting stitch, and then we ensure everything is secure. Cut the long end of the thread. We will use this thread to sew the collar to the hat. The collar is ready. We align the center of the collar with the hat. We are attaching the collar to the hat. Now, let us take a closer look at the hat. We carefully and gently insert a little bit of filler into the hat. First, we secure the hat with pins, and then we glue it using hot glue. The cheerful scarecrow is ready. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and that it will be useful for your creativity. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and share with your friends. Take care of yourself and your loved ones, and goodbye everyone.